What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you guys for tuning in, for watching. I am so grateful for every single one of you guys. So God bless you all. God bless everything. It's a beautiful day. And I want to talk about Nofap and teenagers, right? How you can benefit from it, how you can use it, or if you need to use it at all. So, because somebody brought it up in the last video that I made about Nofap. Somebody brought it up. Hey bro, don't you think it would be more difficult to do it for teenagers? Thought about it, I never thought about it. Fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You're going through raging hormones right now. You're going through major changes. You have a fucking boner 25 hours a day, 365 days of the week of the year. Okay, you're a teenager, you're going through changes, your body's going through major changes right now. This new hormone called testosterone is just being flooded to your body, and all you can think about is sex and orgasm, and it's just consuming your thoughts. So I'm not gonna tell you, just like last video, I'm not here to tell you anything. I'm just here to share my perspective on the world. So I'm gonna give you a perspective, maybe bring to you some insight on why we have this epidemic of porn addiction and why we have this epidemic of masturbation addiction, and how we can maybe deal with it or improve upon it. Maybe using Nofap as a tool, maybe not. Because like I said in the last video, I think it's a tool, depends on you as a person, what's your circumstances, are you really addicted to porn, do you have a girlfriend, etc, etc. So, I'm gonna discuss the concept or the idea of what it's like to be a modern teenager versus what it's like to be a teenager in the hunter-gatherer days. So, as humans, we lived... Science tells us in our modern anatomy, we've been around this planet for 200,000 years. And for 190,000 of those years, we lived as hunter-gatherers. We lived in tribes, in nature. We didn't have cities. We didn't have civilization. We didn't have any of that shit. You were you and your tribe. Your tribe could be anywhere from 50 people, maybe even less, to 150 people, maybe even more. And all you knew was you, your tribe, and the land you're in. And most of these tribes were nomadic, so you were always moving, exploring new territory. So, a modern teenager in those days, in those hunter-gatherer days, and you can still get a glimpse at that if you go and live with hunter-gatherer tribes in Africa or even in North America, native cultures, native tribes that are still living the same way. Now, I haven't, but I watched documentaries. As soon as the tribe sees that you're becoming a man, as soon as they see, hey, okay, this guy is growing and he's got raging boners, he's clearly becoming an adult right now. He's becoming a man. And usually they would take you out into the woods, and depending on the tribe, where you're from or whatever, there are some rituals that you would go through. Sometimes they would throw you in the woods and you just get lost there, and they come back and get you after a week, see if you can survive on your own. Depending, there's so many different rituals. Sometimes they'd make you go kill a lion. So it really depended where you were and what the tribe is, what the culture is. But there was always this initiation, this acknowledgement, you're now a man. And because they acknowledged, oh, okay, this guy, he's got boners right now, he's got testosterone, he's a man. Now he has to take on the role in the tribe as the man. And he's got to channel this testosterone, he's got to make use of it. And they see what were you good at, in the tribes, they see what you're good at, and then boom, you become that thing. So if they see, hey, you just turned 13, 14, they would take you do some kind of a ritual initiation, and then they see, hey, this guy is good at hunting. So now you're hunting with the men of the tribe. All that testosterone, all that rage, not rage. It's not rage actually. It can turn into rage, that's the problem. All this raging hormones, this testosterone. Testosterone gives you vitality. Testosterone is one of the best hormones you can have as a man. It gives you vitality, it gives you liveness, it gives you energy, right? Now, if they say you're good as a hunter, you're hunting with the men. You're using that testosterone instead of the modern teenager, which is fabbing 24/7. You're using that, channeling that to become part of the tribe, an active, productive member of the tribe. If you were good at something else, let's say you were good at shamanism, healing, then now you would go with the shaman, with the healers of the tribe. They would teach you their ways of healing, contacting spirits, etc. So they would see what you're good at, and now you're a man. Channel that testosterone, make use of it, become an active part of the tribe. And you know, in that kind of lifestyle, you gotta be active. You're always moving. You're always doing stuff. So that's number one. Number two, hunter-gatherer tribes. And you guys can read a book called Sex at Dawn by Christopher Ryan. Really great book. Talks about sexuality in hunter-gatherer days. And hunter-gatherers, so when I say hunter-gatherers, I'm saying humans, 95% of our existence. We're very open about sexuality. And as soon as you became a man, usually you started having sex with somebody in the tribe. Somebody else, maybe your age, maybe a bit older, who knows? But usually you started having sex. You know, again, the tribe acts as one, right? The tribe doesn't think of themselves as like, I am this and you're this. They think of ourselves as one. Meaning, even the elders will look at the boy who's just becoming the teenager. They would look at the boy and they would say, all right, he's got to have sex with somebody right now. You see? So then even if that boy doesn't have anybody to like him in the tribe, he'll somehow still find somebody to have sex with, because the elders look at it as, okay, now he's a man. He's got to have sex. You know? And then, of course, the whole concept of nobody likes me in the tribe doesn't exist, because the tribe looks at themselves as one. You see? So even the elder woman would look at anybody who is, you know, just going through puberty right now, raging hormones. Even the elder woman, the elder men would look and say, it's time for this person to have sex. You see? You just follow nature. What's going on in my body? My body right now is craving sex, intimacy, right? I'm becoming an adult, so they would... Point is, you'd be having sex, no problem, no stress, and it's guilt-free, it's shame-free, you know what I mean? Because those hunter-gatherers were so open about sexuality. They were so open about everything. They were connected with nature, they were connected with every aspect of being a human being. So to them, they were very open about sex, right? You're a teenager now, you're going through raging hormones, it's time for you to have sex. You know, it's as simple as that. So, contrast that, now you're becoming an active member of the tribe, now you're out into the world, you're channeling this testosterone, and you're having sex with other members of the tribe. Again, the tribe looked at themselves as one, right? There's the concept of me and you didn't exist. Tribe simply looks, oh, you're having a boner right now? You should probably find somebody in the tribe to have sex with. And they usually would, obviously. You're in the same tribe, you grow up with the same people. There's probably some girls you've been growing up with that you've been having a crush with for a long time, right? And now that you're hitting puberty and now they're hitting puberty too, let's go for it, you know? So, contrast that with the modern teenager, which I certainly was the modern teenager. The modern teenager has an insane access to pornography. So at the whim of a click, you can have the most intense, sexually suggestive and graphic material playing. At the click, just boom, you click. And it's so addictive because the chemicals that are produced when you jerk off to porn specifically, you're basically like releasing an insane amount of dopamine and endorphins. It's insane that it blows up your dopamine receptors. Okay, so, and the thing is, it's so easy to do, right? You just click, bang, bang, bang. You're a teenager right now, you have raging hormones, bang, 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 boom. You probably blow your load pretty quickly, you know? And then, you know, 15 minutes later, you're a teenager, right? Oh, fuck, I get a hard on again. What do? Click, watch, probably like another, a minute, 2 minutes at the most, and bang, there goes your load. You go on about your day, you come back at home at night, and guess what? You got fucking another boner right now. Boom, blow the load again, right? It's that testosterone is not being channeled. You see, it's not being channeled right now. It's not being put to use. And for a lot of teenagers, right, they don't have anybody to have sex with. I definitely didn't, because I came from this way different country. I came here when I was 13, and in that country, sex was so stigmatized and frowned upon. And so when I came here, I just absolutely had no idea how to talk to girls. And I didn't know how to talk to girls. I was so shy about sex and blah blah. Didn't even have a girlfriend in high school, you know, because of that. Because of just the feelings of guilt and shame surrounding my sexuality, and, you know, the forbidden thing, don't do it, that's been ingrained in my head. But it was fucking frustrating. So I get you guys, the guys who, you know, you're having troubles getting somebody to like you, you're having troubles, you know, attracting women to you. I believe me, I understand you, because that was my experience in high school, and it's very fucking frustrating. It is so frustrating. It is frustrating. It is torture. It is absolutely mental and emotional torture. We all want love. We all want to love and be loved. And we're so up in our heads about sex. We're so uptight about sex, right? You know, women are told, don't fuck a bunch of guys because you're a slut, right? So then, even though women, they want to have sex with you and maybe somebody else, and this is natural, this is how it was in the hunter-gatherer days, but now they don't because they feel like they're gonna be a slut, and it's shameful and it's guilty. So you're left with a bunch of guys that nobody, even though somebody probably wants to have sex with you, but nobody is right now, because again, these women secretly, maybe they want to have sex with you, but they're felt shameful about it. And you're feeling shameful about having sex as well, for whatever reasons. You know, we gotta be more open about sex. We gotta recognize that it's such a natural part of being a human, and it is such a key part of being a human. If you study this chakra system, you have the 7 chakras. The sex chakra, the second one, it's right up, like, it is an energy center, and it needs to be acknowledged, and it needs to be made use of. Okay, so ranting, to bring it back up again. A teenager in the hunter-gatherer days, where we lived in the wilderness, as soon as he became a teenager, he had something to do in the tribe. His testosterone was made use of. You see, it's made use of. You're a hunter, all right, now you're with the men, you're hunting. You know, you're a healer, okay, now you're with the shamans, they're gonna teach you how to heal. They acknowledge that you're a man, they initiate you, they have their rituals, and then they tell you you're a man now, and then you feel like a man. And now that you're a man, you're having sex. The tribe will take care of you. The tribe takes care of all your needs. So you're having sex with somebody, whether it's somebody you grew up with, and now you've been liking each other for a long time, whatever. The tribe takes care of you. So in other words, in the tribe, your sexual needs of intimacy and love were met, but also your needs to go out into the world and do something and use that testosterone are also met, because now that you're employed in the tribe. Whereas now, for a lot of us, neither of these two things are met. We don't have anybody to love, to be intimate with, and we are not doing anything with our lives. you know, where we don't know what we want. We don't have proper guidance. Our parents were not there most of the time while we were growing up. We don't really have guidance. Nobody that guided us in the right path, saw the potential in us and directed it in the right way. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, that's the case. So what do we resort to? We resort to fabbing. We resort to jerking off. To, first of all, feel some sort of dopamine and some sort of good feeling, because we're not getting that otherwise. And yeah, so sorry, to go back at it again. Some of us right now, we don't have anybody to love, to get intimate with, and again, we don't have a thing to do in this world. We don't know what we want, we don't know our passion, we don't know ourselves, and I don't blame you guys. I don't fucking know jack shit when I was a teenager. That's why I ended up studying engineering, even though I hated it. I didn't know, I didn't have guidance. So I get you guys, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult not to have guidance, and it's difficult not to know what you want. So then you resort to porn addiction. Then you're fabbing, you're jerking off, and unfortunately that's your only source of amusement and pleasure. Certainly was for me. So, you know, if you're going through that, just remember, I went through that too, and I know. So, you can see why it would be a good idea and a bad idea for a teenager to do Nofap. So I'll make the case for the good idea, and I'll make the case for the bad idea, and you go on and you do your own thing. Good idea, because most teenagers now, probably 99% of them, are addicted to porn. Okay? So by just doing Nofap at all, you know, Nofap whatsoever, there are a lot of benefits you're gonna get from it. Number one, you're gonna be weaned off your porn addiction. That's number one. Number two, which is, I mean, let's go back to number one because it's so important. I don't want to just skip over it. Porn is teaching you about sex, and it's teaching you in the wrong way, because porn, what you see in porn is only one aspect of sex. When you see and they're going like next level shit, animal primal shit, usually you get there with a woman when both of you are very comfortable with each other. But then these are porn, they probably enjoy sex and they're comfortable with each other because they're porn actors, right? That's what they do. They fuck all day. So what you see in front of you, you think, okay, automatically that's gonna happen. But the whole aspect of building attraction, building comfort, building trust is skipped. So you're learning sex in all the wrong ways from porn. That's the first thing. So by being weaned off your porn addiction, well, you go back to what feels right here, what feels natural. Number two, your dopamine receptors can get back to normal from the addiction to porn, but also addiction to masturbation, right? So even if you're not jerking off to porn, but you're jerking off 4 or 5 times a day, it's a bit too much, and you're gonna blow up your dopamine receptors. The other thing is you will be able to channel that insane amount of energy that you have as a teenager, that insane amount of testosterone. You'll be able to channel it into something else, perhaps. Maybe finding your passion, if you play music, if you play football or sport or something. If you do Nofap, you'll be able to channel that energy into something else. Maybe find what your passion is. You're probably doing something else in school right now, music, even studying. You'll be able to channel it into that. And when you channel it, say you're focused, you'll be more attractive to women, right? You'll definitely, if you decide as a teenager to do Nofap, you'll be more attractive to women, because your dopamine receptors will get back to normal. You can go back to the real world for fucking once. Instead of constantly objectifying women, you can start having conversations with them, talk to them, get to know them, get to know who they are, recognize that there is a consciousness, a soul behind this object that you think is just a woman, right? Porn is, you just look at women now as if you're always watching porn, object, 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 object. But if you stop, if you just say no fap, no porn, no imagination, nothing, dopamine receptors get back to normal. Channel that energy into your passion, into something that you're doing right now. And the third thing, You'll be more attractive to women. You'll actually be able to have more conversations with them, less anxiety. You will be able to look at them not just as fucking objects, as subjects also, as people, as consciousness, as souls. So lots of benefits as a teenager, as a modern teenager, right? It's tough being a modern teenager, man. I get you guys. It's difficult. It's difficult. Huge access to porn, you know, sexual stigma. So a lot of us, because of either our own personal sexual stigmas or the sexual stigmas of other people, we're unfortunately not finding love. We're not finding someone to share this basic intimate act with. So you'll be more attractive to the ladies, channel your energy in the right way, and get back your dopamine receptors, less anxiety, less social anxiety, and get back to touching hair. So that's the case for why no fabbing, as difficult as it is for teenagers, as insanely difficult for teenagers as it is, that's the case for why it's a good idea to try it. Now I'll give you the case for why it could be a bad idea to try it as well. You're having way too many boners, man. You're thinking about sex way too much. There's just simply an overflow of testosterone right now. There's an overflow of sexual energy. And I will be a fool to deny it. That's the case for why it could be a bad idea, right? So then if you choose not to do nofap, here's my recommendation to you, bro. Do it to your imaginations. Do it to your imaginations and take your time. If you decide, hey, you know what, I just can't do nofap. It's way too many boners, way too much sexual energy. My recommendation to you, and this is just my opinion, my recommendation, do it not to porn. Do it to your imaginations. And take your time. The case is when we end up jerking off like 3-4 times a day, we get in, you know, on an addictive streak, where, because it's happening so fast and it's so easy and boom, 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 oh my god, right? But if you take your time and you use your imaginations, you will find you might only do it once a day or once every few days, because you have to take your time and you're actually stimulating the act of sex as well. Because when you're watching porn, you're watching two other people have sex, you're getting off of that. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're actually using your imaginations, you are in the act. You're gonna have to use someone that you know in real life. You know, someone maybe you've been talking to, there's some sexual tension. You're gonna have to use someone in your imaginations, and you're in the act. So you get to figure out what turns me on, what do I like, and it stimulates the act of sex. So if you're trying to find someone to get intimate with, you increase the likelihood, because actually your nervous system has no idea what's reality and what's not. To your nervous system, to your subconscious mind, it's the same thing. So I recommend, if you decide to go, no fab's a bad idea for me, I can't do it, can't ignore all the sexual energy, I'm not meant to, my body's not designed for it, I'm designed to have sex right now, I'm designed to get intimate with women, then if you decide to go that route, because you know, both points have validity in them, mind you. Both points have validity in them, and both points you can benefit from fabbing or no fabbing as a teenager. But if you're gonna fab, trust your boy Saeed on this one specifically, right? I know I'm an idiot, I know I'm a bullshitter, but this one specifically, trust me on that. Fab to your imaginations and take your time. And you will find that if you eliminate porn altogether, you'll find eventually you're fabbing less, because now you're like, oh, I have to set the mood, right? When you're having sex with a woman, you have to set the mood too, right? It's not just, this is the physical act, but there's the mental, the spiritual act of it. So when you're doing it to your imaginations, you have to set the mood, and you have to, you know, use your imaginations and take your time. Take your time when you're masturbating. You know, when you're fabbing, when you're teasing your weasel. Take your time, okay? Once you take your time and use your imaginations, instead of, you go down from probably doing it 3 times a day to once a day, or maybe once every few days, which is not bad at all, right? Again, you're a teenager, you have raging hormones, insane amount of testosterone, all you think about is sex, and you're horny all the time. Normal. So that's it. Hopefully I presented the case for why it's a good idea, why it's a bad idea. At the end of the day, you do whatever you want, whatever helps you in your own journey, yeah, it's difficult being a teenager, but I'm here to do the best that I can to help you guys, the best that I can with my bullshitting, ranting, and my idiotic rambling, right? I do what I can. So that's it. God bless you all. Good luck on everything. Good luck on this. And that's it, guys. Love you. Love every single one of you. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.